All. Thank you for hanging out with me, Indie Tribe with the Pulse on Christian Family Radio. Thank you all for finding the time to get here. I just want to jump right in if that's cool with y'all.
Yes,
So I've got
sir.
a couple questions that's like for anybody to answer, just kind of whoever's feeling like answering it. Then I've got some specifics for you guys. So first, some of our listeners that don't really know much about Indie Tribe have been rocking with y'all too long. Tell me a little bit about like what the tribe's about and kind of why it was formed.
Billy.
You passing that one to me, Mowgli?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, Indie Tribe. Originally, the meaning of Indie Tribe was just being independent of the status quo of the boxes that culture puts you in. You know what I'm saying? And over time, it's come to mean a lot of things. I mean, we're all independent artists. We all champion independent artists in that grind, and we kind of want to show people that there's a different way to go. I've been on a label, I've done like the label thing, and not owning the art that you create and that you put like your effort, your creativity, your time, your talent into, it's a very, it can be a very like negative thing. It can be very draining on you. It can cause you to not be as honest with the artwork, and to miss the people, which is the most important, to miss the listeners and the fans that you're kind of like finely tuned to reach. You know, the whole label thing can kind of like sterilize the art to where it's more general, so it can work for more people, and then you're kind of missing the people that God has like fine-tuned you to reach. So like with Indie Tribe, we just want to champion like that ownership, champion independent art, champion generosity and creativity. So
awesome. Yeah, and let me talk to the two new guys real quick. So John Keith and DJ Michael V. What kind of attracted you guys to the Indie Tribe, and kind of how did it go down with joining the group?
Okay. I'll say for me, you know what I'm saying, no for Ben. Like I really just, I mean, these are my friends, you know what I'm saying? Like these are just my guys. And kind of like what Dilly said, like I'm much more passionate about independence now than I was earlier on in my career. And yeah, I just think that this is going to be really something special, not just in our space, but you know, kind of in general. I feel like people are going to really get a sense of freedom and liberation from like what comes from this collective. And you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I mean, these are my guys. You know what I'm saying? These are my friends. So
yeah, that's good. I mean, I have been around Indie Tribe since its inception, and I was just never a part of it until recently. So I just been there watching them grind, the highs, the lows, the mids, and just kind of watching the ascension slowly. And then once the situation happened with the previous members, I kind of let Dill have a breather, and then I was like, "Hey, man, I really feel in my heart that me and John Keefe would be a great fit." And when I said that, his ears kind of perked up about it. But you know, it took a little convincing for John to get in. But now we here, man.
For sure, yeah. And you guys talked about kind of all being friends, like you already knew each other. So I guess when you hang out, what obviously you all live in different cities, like all across the states. But what's your favorite thing to do when you guys hang out? Like, do you have a thing you like to do, or maybe a spot you like to go? Kind of what's the move?
I know John Keith hates playing Super Smash Brothers with me because he loses every single time. So I enjoy that a lot.
That's not true, but I appreciate you.
I enjoy it a lot. I'm sure he doesn't have that good of a time, but you know, so.
You want to respond to that at all, John?
Yeah, that's not true. I just like to say that Mr. No just told a blatant lie. Do not lose every time. He actually knows that he can't say that now. That I do not.
That's true. That's true. It's 9-1, Alex. It's 9-1.
Oh, Alex, he's from Tennessee. Can we trust people from Tennessee? You're
I grew
from
up in Tennessee, so I
He's
got
from
I gotta say
Tennessee.
yes. Hey, he's part of the Titans family, so hey,
That's right. You're
for
digging
sure.
yourself a hole, John Keith.
So it's Smash Bros. Any other video games, or is that kind of the move for everybody?
And we just love being in the same room and arguing with each other in a friendly way. Like just about the stupidest stuff. They could be like, no, the sky's red. No, but it's blue though. Like just
Well,
stupid
Michael
stuff.
is always the one saying the sky's red, just so you know that.
Hey,
No,
scientifically, he's right. That's what I learned in middle school. That it is red. It just looks blue. I don't know.
No sleep
Oh,
for
wow.
I don't.
I don't know, man.
Actually, Michael is actually right. If I haven't ever thought about this until this interview, but if you had to pick the number one thing that we like to do together and what we actually do other than music, spend the most time on, it's definitely arguing.
What's the go-to
Debating.
argument?
We'll say debating.
Like,
we'll say debating. We'll say
Yeah, debating is it's
Debating.
not hard. Like it's only like once in a while that like people are actually like mad. You know what I'm saying? But like it's debating.
what's like the go-to debate? Is it like, is water wet, or kind of what's like the go-to? I don't want to open that can of worms right now.
The go-to is always like something hip hop related, like top 5, who's top 3, who's greatest of all time. The correct answer is Drake.
No sleep for Ben. That's not okay.
All right, well, we'll leave that over here. Y'all can talk about that a little bit later. So kind of like, I guess, what makes Indie Tribe unique from other kind of groups or other collectives within CHH?
Somebody else take that because I don't want to answer the whole time. I can, but
I think that we're just the best. I think, and I say this all the time, and I'm like not trying to be funny. I'm being that serious. I think that one thing that I believe in my heart of hearts that we will be amongst the top collectives in our space because we have one thing that is very prominent. We don't have issues with each other. There's no secret beefs. There's no nothing because we literally have like a rule where we keep everything transparent. Like no matter how we feel, we voice it, we listen, and we discuss as a group. And that never leaves any room for anybody to get cynical or anybody to like kind of have like this secret like like anger or whatever. Like we always like have just that communication, open communication, and I feel like that's where a lot of other people lack. Like there's always somebody that was like hating or somebody didn't get along with somebody because somebody said this. Like with us, it's like it's hella chill. It's super chill.
Yeah, and just to add to that, I'd say that we're able to operate at a level of scale that is kind of a space that's occupied only by people that are on labels. But we're able to do this as a collective where we're able to own 100% of everything that we do and, you know, invest in things together, collect in things together. But at the same time, we don't own each other. Like it's really just off the strength of the vision and our relationships. And I think that just allows us to make a type of art and a type of bond that translates to the music that is just more authentic.
I like that. You said we don't own each other.
Yeah, we don't own each other.
That's right. Everybody, he's right. Everybody has complete equal ownership in Indie Tribe. So there's no like hierarchy that that bleeds into the financial structure or ownership structure of Indie Tribe. So that's actually very unique as far as these things go.
Yeah, because when we're helping each other, when we're doing things for each other and with each other, it's not like for like it's like it's not like Dill's just taking me on a show or doing a record because like he owns like 85% of my master recordings and is recouping on all the back end. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's actually a huge difference.
And I would say that the top reason No Sleep for Ben is that we are the best. You know what I'm saying? All humility and you know what I'm saying? Glory to God, but he made us the best.
Word. Well, that's what's up. So I guess kind of from here, I've got a couple individual questions for each of you guys. So for Michael V, I want to know what's up with the like DJ tag at the beginning of your songs or producer, whatever you call it, kind of it's almost like a Christian DJ Khaled is kind of what I refer to it as. Like, where did that come from and kind of what's the vision behind that?
So I say God always. That's my mantra. That is my brand. That is me. Essentially what that means is like no matter any situation, no matter what you're going through. It's just God always. Like God always is faithful. God always is present. God always is the forefront. Like you can put whatever you want after God always. But that's why I use it. And I kind of put that in front of my music just to like let people know like it's God always. And I do that because that's just like, yeah, it's just my tag and my thing, man. I like bringing people together. And reluctantly I would say yes, it is like a Christian DJ Khaled. But yeah, it's just something that I love to say and live, and I just love bringing people together. So that's like kind of putting my stamp on things that I've built it to where it's like if I say that, then you know what's coming next is going to be a good song.
For sure. Yeah. And in a lot of your songs, you say, if you're going to talk to me nice. Kind of, I guess, where did the inspiration for that come from? Because that's a really interesting phrase.
So that's actually like not, so it's not nothing new. That's like New York lingo.
Okay.
So what that means is like talk to me nice is like something that New Yorkers say, and what it is like it's just saying like, yo, like it's kind of like when you do like a slam dunk, you're like, oh, talk to me nice, like, or like if you like playing a game with somebody and you're like you dunk on them, you're like, oh, talk to me nice, like it's kind of like it's like a cocky thing. It's like, yo, like, you know, like make sure when you look in my direction, look the right way. You feel me? Don't
For sure.
like, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
People always think like, oh, do like you mean like you just don't like rude people? You want people to talk to you in a nice way? Like somebody literally told me that, and it was the most innocent thing ever. And I'm like, that's actually not what it means. But thank you for trying to put two and two together.
Absolutely. Hey, we don't like rude people. That's at least true. I mean, who likes rude people? But yeah,
yeah,
sure.
that is also true. It's two birds with one stone. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's one
expressing his confidence, and also literally talk to me nice.
Yep, exactly. I said exactly.
For sure. Now, Mowgli the Iceberg, I want to know. I mean, well, I know, but I want our listeners to know kind of what's up with your name. Like, where did Mowgli the Iceberg come from?
So when I was in middle school, I used to be really lanky, and I had pretty dark skin, and I had just long, shaggy black hair. And some kid was like, "He looks like Mowgli from the Jungle Book," and other human being at my school was like, "That is correct." People just use that as a nickname. Then the iceberg part is a play off my last name. But when I first started rapping, I was really into this guy from Atlanta named OJ the Juice Man. And I figured I could just be something to something. So I became Mowgli the Iceberg.
Nice. For sure. I love the creativity behind that, and kind of the way it ties into your childhood. That's really dope, for sure. Well, John Keith, so you've been talking about kind of the village, right? And what exactly is that for people that might be confused? Like, is it a merch line? Is it like a label you're starting, or what's that about?
Well, No Sleep for Ben. It's never a label. But it is definitely, I mean, it's a gang, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, the best way I could just explain it to you is like the village just kind of comes in, takes over things, runs the show, tells people what to do, tells people to go get things, brings it back, takes it for ourselves, and then gives all glory to God. You know, it's kind of like the moniker under what I do, everything, you know. And it's kind of also the fans, you know what I'm saying? The fans are the village. There's other artists that I rock with that are part of the village. You know, and so when we go, you know, we live from the village, that's just, you know what I'm saying? That's what we do.
For sure. I love it. And for you, no big deal. Since you're from the Nashville area, it's near Bowling Green. It's like an hour away. What's kind of like the go-to spot if like you could take somebody one place to show them what Nashville is? Where do you go? Like, is it an underground place? Is it like a common tourist place?
I mean, it's definitely the butterfly wings in the city. It's got to be, bro. It's got to be the butterfly wings.
What is this man talking about right now?
There's this really slept-on mural that says "Nashville looks good on you."
If we're talking food, and if we're talking hot chicken, we're only talking about Prince's. I don't want to talk about anything else.
That's crazy. He didn't take me there, by the way,
Hey,
just so everyone knows that.
No
He did
Hattie
not take me
B's.
there.
It's Prince's all the way.
Oh, look, Hattie B's makes
Nashville.
Hattie B's makes good hot chicken. The chicken tastes good. It's good, but it's just not. They're not the originator. You know what I'm saying? And there's a big piece of the culture you lose going to Hattie B's versus Prince's or Bolton's. Shout out Bolton's, but Prince's.
But don't go to Bolton's because it's bad. It's painful.
That has nothing to do with me. That's Mowgli The Iceberg.
It's so bad. Like I mean, it's just painful. It's too much.
Is it too hot?
The heat.
Too hot.
The heat.
The medium. Okay. I'm a pretty frugal guy. I threw away my medium chicken because I was like, I'm literally sweating blood.
That's the medium.
Medium.
Okay. Ooh. Yeah, I like spicy food, but I'm not sure I want to sign up for sweating blood or whatever you just. Yeah, no, I'm good on that one. I think, especially if I'm gonna spend my money, like you want to enjoy it at least a little bit, you know. For sure. Well, definitely check out Prince's. I have been to Hattie B's, but I've not been to Prince's. I've heard it's really good, but I need to make my way over there.
Those are the originators. Like I said, Hattie B's makes good chicken. There's nothing wrong with the chicken, but the cultural aspect, I feel like, is lost. You gotta get Prince's at least once.
For sure. You got to go the original of whatever it is. For sure. Yeah. So why don't you guys talk to me a little bit about kind of what God taught you through the pandemic, especially as like independent artists, and kind of what the struggle was like and what God has taught you bringing you out of that. And that could be for anybody to start off.
Yeah, for me, No Sleep for Ben, God really kind of just taught me the importance of community and unity and like fellowship. No man was meant to be an island at all. I heard a lot of people kind of before the pandemic, and I was one of them, that kind of was just like, oh man, it's just me and God. Like, it's just me and God. And God's like, yo, that's not even what I want. Like, that's not what this is. That's not what this is supposed to be. Like, you're supposed to have people. You're not supposed to be alone. You're supposed to have people with you that are, you know, a part of your community, that are there to pick you up when you fall, that are there to be my voice when you can't hear me. You know what I'm saying? When you don't want to listen, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, that's kind of, I kind of learned the importance of that because I didn't have any of that No Sleep for Ben. So yeah, that's me.
I mean, I'm gonna just keep it short and sweet. I found out everything I didn't want to be in the pandemic. I figured I looked everything I didn't want to be in the face, and I faced it.
Man, I think that it showed me just how volatile everything can be, you know, and how, you know, everything that you take for granted or take for constant can be flipped in a very short amount of time, you know, and the things that you count on, you know, can't always count on them.
Yeah, for me, it just gave me a new appreciation for the things that God has given me, specifically relationships, family relationships. You know, my family lives in another state, in Arizona. So I'm used to seeing them like a couple times a year. I'm also used to seeing them at like shows. I'm also used to seeing a lot of my friends almost exclusively at shows or conferences or stuff, you know. And so all of that was kind of out, you know, and especially not seeing like my family, not being able to see my grandparents, you know, and not knowing how long the pandemic is going to continue and everything. And then just that relief of, you know, the vaccine and things opening back up, especially for my grandparents, and being able to see them again. It just kind of gives you a new appreciation, you know, kind of going off of what Mowgli said, like an appreciation on both sides, like appreciation of how much, how quickly stuff can be taken away, and how like God is active in his providence in holding all these things together, and how quickly that can be put on pause. And then how like sweet it is to be able to enjoy those good gifts of family, of relationship, and of like this journey of faith that we're on together, that we're not meant to be isolated, like John was talking about. We're meant to be together. You know, the body is meant to is not meant to be disintegrated. It's meant to be integrated. So yeah, I feel like I learned a lot about relationship and presence through the pandemic.
For sure. Those are all great answers. And thank you all for sharing something personal like that with us. So let's talk about kind of the future of Indie Tribe. So we had like our Avengers Assemble type of moment right on social media, the big reveal. And then you dropped, we got Outside, kind of a little bit of like stepping into Indie Tribe and how it is now. And then we had Holy Smoke. So what's next? What's kind of the big, is there a project going on or what's in the works?
John's face just cracked me up when he did that. So
do people in Bowling Green, like, did they even believe in the pandemic, or was they like, nah, this ain't real?
So I don't know, because I'm actually in Jackson, Tennessee, like by Memphis. So I'm in Tennessee and I kind of like work remotely. Yeah, so like in Jackson, like everybody's kind of just chill. Like the vaccine's been out, a lot of people have gotten it. Like it's just kind of like normal life again. And then in Bowling Green, I think they've still got more like lockdown just because Kentucky's a little bit more that way.
Yeah.
But I think as a whole, most people are just kind of going on as normal at this point.
But Kentucky was actually, Michael, I remember at the beginning of the whole thing, Kentucky's numbers were better than Tennessee's. Like Kentucky got on it like really quick and they had their numbers go down while Tennessee was still like going up. Like they were doing pretty
okay. I thought it was like the rest of the South. Because they was like, we don't want no god dang masks.
Oh shoot!
So
wait, what was the question?
I was busy Googling like the timeline of the Avengers movies because I just remember the Age of Ultron and I was gonna make a pun as to where we're going with Indie Tribe. But Ultron's going down. We're securing the Tesseracts. Definitely.
I'm with this.
You gotta help me out here.
Bro, listen, the future of Indie Tribe is, as Thanos would say, inevitable. We are inevitable.
Absolutely.
Hey, put that on some merch. I don't know, there might be some copyright problems, but I would love a shirt that said Indie Tribe, we are inevitable. That would be dope.
Ooh, that's not a bad idea, really.
That might be a good second album name, Indie Tribe.
Inevitable.
But I mean, I think this is coming out like right after the album drops. So I mean, the album is.
Tours. We're trying to do shows.
Bro, listen, the album is a warning shot to everybody.
It was almost called No Sleep for Ben, but we decided to call it something else. But it's really a work of art. It's really something that kind of bleeds all of our sounds and our styles together. And it really kind of just showcases that independence is the way, Jesus is king, and we are the best.
Yeah. So
go ahead, Dale.
So like Mowgli was saying, the next thing is to, take that show on the road. Like we want people to see it live. We want people to experience those concepts live. We want to empower other independent artists on stages. And yeah, so the focus after the album for sure is live shows.
Perfect. And since this will like air on the radio after the album drops, can you guys like give the name and maybe like a little bit more info about it, or that's up to you for sure though?
Let's go. The album is called, I can say it, right? The album is called Upper Hand. It drops on May 28th and it is over for the devil.
So it's a full-length album, right?
Full-length album. And we actually made it. We lived together when we made it. We rented an Airbnb for a week and we just went in and we were just immersed with each other for an entire week and we just cranked out crazy music. We grew with each other as people. It was an amazing experience and none of us had ever created music like that, especially for a whole album.
That's awesome. So it was like church camp for a week, like just the four of y'all in one house, like making the beats, making the the lyrics, everything, and just kind of like, was it finished at the end of the week, or just kind of like almost finished?
So we had several other producers in there with us. We had our videographer and photographer. We had some good friends that were there, and it was we came away with like the solid like silhouette and outline of like what the album was. You know, we had to do some finishing touches after the fact, but you know, everything was just building off the chemistry that we created in person.
Yeah, we had like I think 9 people together or something like that. But yeah, we had the producers with us. They were going crazy all week. Man, shout out to producers. Let's who is it? It was Wowie, 1995. Wow,
Shout
Eli.
out Wow Eli, 1995. You know what I'm saying? Shout out the homie Ant, the homie Garrett, Ricky.
Yeah, shout out all of them. But yeah, it was very much like camp. Like it was a recording camp, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't that much like church camp, but we did but it was a camp, and we did do like devotions every morning together, time in the word, time praying. We did like a family dinner every night. Shout out Rick Harmony for cooking for us every night. And we, you know, we worked on music. Yeah, and stuff was made from scratch, which is what I think you were asking. Yeah, the producers would make stuff, we would write, we would record. You know, it was an amazing, very unique time. And that is when I handed my first 4 L's to John Keith in Super Smash. He beat me 0 times at the
I would just like to say that
in Smash Brothers.
Right, that Dylan sucks. That's my whole sentence, dog.
That's it. Period.
Wait, John, do you have anything to add to that sentence?
What did you say?
There was
I what?
You forgot. You forgot.
Add to that sentence.
No.
You've been saying something.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no Cooper Ben. Dylan sucks.
There we go.
Nice. So I'm trying to think. Wow. So that's a crazy way of like making music. Like I feel like that's not something we see a lot, especially like in this like time that the world's in. Like it's all like stuff like this over Zoom, like phone calls, like record it yourself, send it to me type of stuff. Like, do you guys think that it made it a better product because you were all able to be together and kind of work through it as a team?
Undeniably, absolutely, 1000%.
Sweet. So do you think like going forward as Indie Tribe, like will that be kind of like the model to make music, or do you think you gotta go back to how it was, or I guess what's the vision as you
do it every year? We gotta do it. We've already talked about like we're gonna. It's called Tribal Council, like that camp. We're gonna do that every year, even if we don't put out an album that year. We're doing it every year just because it was just a paradigm shift in how we create, and even just like the cohesion of this group. So yeah, it definitely, in my mind, it was like, yeah, this is a whole different way of doing this.
Yeah. So like when y'all were there, was there like freestyling going on? And if so, like this might be a tough vote, but like who would be the best freestyler of like all you guys? Is there one?
This is super easy. This is actually very easy. The best freestyler is John Keith for sure.
It's definitely me. It's definitely me.
I was gonna lie. It's not Michael, but Michael can kind of get down, to be honest.
He really can, actually.
But actually, yeah, he does kind of freestyle in his own element. It's really.
If he's not paying attention and he's just being silly, he actually can freestyle.
Yeah,
if you say Michael freestyle, he can't freestyle. But like he'll be joking around and he'll be like, I mean, that was kind of.
So he just gets lucky. Is that what we're saying? He gets lucky when he freestyles, or?
Not even luck.
I don't believe in luck.
Nah, we don't believe in luck or good luck or bad luck or any luck. You know what I'm saying? No, but he gets into this zone. You know what I'm saying? You ever seen the movie Soul? He gets into the zone where he's not thinking about it and he's out of here. But then he starts thinking about, oh, John Keith is watching me. He's the best ever. I get nervous. I fall out. And
you know what it's like? It's kind of like Peter. You know what I'm saying? Like Jesus is on the water. Jesus out on the water, and he tells him to get out of the boat, come to him, you know, and Peter's cruising. He's doing good. You know what I'm saying? That's like Michael freestyling. Then he looks down at the wind and the waves.
Listen,
takes
God,
his eye off of Jesus and starts sinking. That's what it's
yo,
like.
listen,
That's what it's
God told me to take my foot out the boat, but now all I'm doing is I got my foot on their throat. It ain't no joke. Don't even try to approach. I'm about to take my girl and go elope.
There you go, baby. That's what I'm talking about, son. You go
For sure.
I got to top that off with one of these. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Waiting.
When you don't have an Apple device, this is what happens.
Oh well, never mind.
Yeah,
I pulled up that and it didn't play.
Dang.
So all I'm gonna say is
Probably.
like when I said take the foot out the boat and it was the foot on their throat, that's a great little, you know what I'm saying? That's a great, yo, hey, dude, keep that in the tuck, bro.
Hey, keep it up here. Hey, we're almost out of time, which is super sad. Y'all were super fun to talk to. Thank you for all taking the time. Super excited about the album. Definitely going to get a bunch of people to stream it. I'll be streaming it. I cannot wait. So thank you guys. And if you have anything left to say, you're welcome to say it now.
Man,
yeah,
thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much, Alex. Thank you. Shout out the Christian Family Christian Radio. You know what I'm saying? Indie Tribe for the win. You see the 10. We came out here. Ain't no sleeping den. No sleep for bed.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not gonna try a verse, but hey, I don't think we want that. Nobody wants that.
Smart move.
Thanks, Alex, man. It was a pleasure.
Hey, it's a pleasure to interview you guys, and I'm hoping to go to the tour hopefully by like the end of the year. I'm super excited.
Oh,
y'all come to Memphis or Jackson. So, probably not Jackson. Memphis, Nashville. I'll find my way there. So for sure.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Indie Tribe for life, baby.
Yes, indeed.
no sleep for Ben.